Welcome back, everybody. Hope you've had a little nice leg stretcher, get some energy up. And for the next an hour and a half or so, we'll be hearing from two of our business areas. And we're starting with business area Motion. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Ansi, and a warm welcome back also from my side. I'm Morten Wierod, and I'm the business area leader for our Motion business in ABB. And together with me today, I brought in Mika, Kulja, who are our division presidents for our Drive Products division in ABB. And we will show you a bit more of what Motion is all about. And we say that we keep the world turning while saving energy every day. And what does that really mean? Well, we made a short video to give you a bit of flavor and introduction to that.
Wherever you go, whatever you do, you are never far from ABB Drives and Motors. From cooling to warming a building, we help you hit the right temperature while avoiding high monthly energy bills. We also make sure you can squeeze out every gram of sugar without wasting a drop of energy. And for extracting raw materials, we are breaking new ground in safe, efficient electric mines. We provide the power to bend metal and the precision to craft paper. Our smart motion technology enables oil, gas, and chemicals to flow and brings uninterrupted water and power for millions of people around the world. ABB's traction technologies, from drives and motors to battery storage systems, make rail transport even more sustainable. Wherever you look, ABB Smart Motion keeps your world turning.
So a lot of great examples of what we do as part of our Motion business. And what we would like to show you here today is why we are the leader in this very attractive industrial motion market, and how we do drive performance and growth under the ABB Way. And then also to make the commitment and also to hope to build the confidence that we will create shareholder value also in the future. And I think you already seen the statement that we are increasing our margin corridor from 15 and up to 19%. So when we look at what we have here of some of the megatrends of the world is really going electric. 1/3 of the world's electricity is already consumed by motors. What is a bit of the sad side is that only out of 5 of those motors is having a variable speed drive attached to it and controlling the speed or the torque. When you have a drive controlling the motor, you can save up to 40% of energy. And the demand for electric motion will double in the next 20 years. Therefore, energy efficiency is not longer really an option, it's a must. When we look at our offering and what we do, we are number one in this motion market. And it comes from a huge investment in R&D and technology over many, many years, building a very comprehensive product portfolio. From the small drives and motors that are the size I could hold in my hand, and you can sit in your treadmill at home or in a small mixer in a bakery, up to those huge motors that would fill the whole stage here and controlled again by a drive and sitting part of a propulsion systems in the biggest cruise ships or icebreakers ever built. So that is the breadth of our portfolio. So whatever customer needs or customer problem, I think we have a solution to it. And what do we say in Motion? It's about profitable growth. That's our mandate and what we are committed to. I've also shown that in 2020, in a tough year with COVID all around the world. And it has, but still in this year, we have been able to show the really strong resilience in the business. In the first quarter, as I think everybody is very well aware of. And it comes really from a few very important things for us. First of all, is with the wide portfolio and the many segments we serve. We are not a single segment or a single market dependent. We have a lot of options on that side where we can use and sell our products and services. Then we're also talking about we have many markets. We are well positioned throughout the world and not a single country or geography dependent or a single channel. So with the channel partners and the channel setup we have in Motion gives us also resilient in the business. And if you look at our bottom line performance, it comes again due to these strong cost controls, and the part of being the DNA of Motion is really to every year do a little bit better than before when it comes to cost and having a constant productivity over the year. That's what we have shown in the past, and that is what we also will show in the future. So if you look more into the future and how it looks like, we expect now in the coming years the market will come back at a higher pace than what we see over the whole cycle. But for us again, it's about finding those pockets of growth, those growth opportunities that could give us more than just what the market is expecting to recover and grow. So there is, again, to be positioned in the different segments across the world and addressing the customer needs and the trends that what we face today. Especially, I like to mention around performance and reliability. Our equipment is often used in very critical applications. That could be in a steel mill, it could be on board a ship, as we talked about. It could also be in a food processing plant. What is also important that the cost of an unplanned downtime could be higher than the cost of the purchase price of our equipment in the first place. So reliability is, for a big portion of our portfolio, also a must. Also, when we talk about digital, it's opened some new doors for us, for how we can go out, get all our products, all our motors, our drives connected to the cloud or to on the edge in local applications. This is also how we get more information, and we can help our customers more in their maintenance cycles and throughout the end of lifetime, and then even to the next generation of products in their plants. And as we also say, energy efficiency is a must from a sustainability point of view, but also from a business point of view. We want to make sustainability and energy efficiency a business case. And we do that also with our technology. Because our technology leadership is one of the key parameters how we differentiate. I showed you the vast portfolio that we already have in place. But it's also used there, the technology leadership, to set new standards, to set new expectations as the customer expect from us when it comes to efficiency or also how we improve the quality. But again, it's not just about products, solutions, or offering. As much it is about domain expertise. And in practice, this means having application engineers, having people within our organization, but also with our partners, who really understand the end customers and our customers' needs. Because they turn these problems and those challenges into solutions, into motion solutions. And that was domain expertise really mean. And then we are very proud of our global scale and coverage, which means the global scale being everywhere, but having the local coverage. That means that everywhere you have a motor, you will have a ABB motion expert close to you. That could be with as ABB and employed by ABB with our service technicians, or it could be among our channel partners who have also been trained by us and is really our extended arm and our representative out in the field. So I have a couple of examples I would like to show you today that underlines how we use these three elements also to be successful in the market. The first one is about setting a new standard for energy efficiency and using it through technology leadership. We were all used to 4 different levels of energy efficiency, from IE 1 up to 4. We then came up with a new technology. Synchronous reluctance motors, together with the drive, sets the standard now of IE 5, a new level in the industry where it's really able to save way more energy than we have ever been able for before. The example here is from Campbell's, or one of their food factories in Australia. In the state of Victoria, they had a plant where they have 2 problems. One was to reduce their energy footprint, or their carbon footprint, and the other was to reduce their energy bill. This technology with the synchronous reluctance motors and dry package answered both those questions, reducing 131 tons of CO2, but also 14% reduction in their energy bill. So that is how you can use technology for really setting a new standard and solving real problems in the market. The other example I would like also to show you is from China, and it's about local domain expertise, and this is in the water segment. In Shanxi province, in the midst of China, there were more than 10 million people who did not have access to stable supply of fresh water, and not enough water either for the local farming. So here, they took the whole part of the Yellow River and lifting up 636 meters, lifting more than 1 billion cubic meter of water over to the new river delta so that the rest of the province could get water. These are projects, very complex projects, where we are involved, where you need to understand the complexity of these pump stations, how the controls and how it's going to work, and working together there with the pump manufacturers and the local team, we have been able now to provide water into these new areas. And it's also important that it's reliable for the future. And therefore, all our ABB motion equipment in these plants are connected to our motion digital center in Beijing, where the experts are able to see what is going on in this equipment and then come up with advice before any problems may occur. This is, again, a great example how we're being a global expertise, but also having the local know-how where it really solves problems. And the last example I would like to show today is a bit of a mix between our digital services with technology. We're using the smart sensor, that you can place on the motor, and it will feel if there is something wrong or maybe a problem in the future. And it doesn't work just for ABB motors. It also works for every other brand of induction motor. And then the case is in Poland where we're working with Ergo Hestia, which is one of the leading insurance companies in Poland. And they give now a premium, a reduction on the insurance premium to their customers who install the smart sensors on all motors in the plant. Because they have seen that when they are able to predict any failures early, they are able also to reduce the insurance payout. So it's a win for the insurance company. For the end customers, for the plant owner, it's an advantage because they have now a much better transparency on what's going on in the process in their plants. And for us, as ABB, come up with the technology is open new opportunities together with those end users and customer and plant owners when they're looking at their critical equipment. So those are three areas where our divisions is working with customers in the market, finding both new business models and using the technology to gain market share. But I see today we also made some announcement for the business area of motion. We have our mechanical power transmission, for most people known as Dodge, a leading player in the North American market in the mechanical market. And after our portfolio review, we have also seen that we believe that the best way to get the full potential out of the business is under a different ownership. When it's talking about our motors and generator division, we're going to split that into 3 separate divisions. 2 of them, when you talk about IEC motors and the NEMA motors, it's product business. They produce more than 3.5 million motors every year. It's fast cycle, it's delivery time within days. It is a different type of business than our large motors and the generator business, which they can have lead time up to a year, which is big equipment always designed for the application or for the use case. They have different challenges and they also have different opportunities out in the market. That's why we have decided that they will take responsibility for their own business plans, their own people, their own costs, and really to drive the performance that we believe. We have identified good opportunities to improve in all of the 3 areas, and we believe with the focus and the accountability, we will run this as a better sum of this as 3 than as 1 together. When we look at our other 4 divisions in our business area of motion. They are already set up for growth. They are in a good place, and it's really about profitable growth for the future. Our traction business is the leading manufacturer and supplier of propulsion system for train and in the train business. But also they're expanding the scope, taking a bigger share, not doing just our motors, our converters, and the overall propulsion system, but now looking, say, what can we do more? We go into battery system and into the energy system that is a train, which is also now embedded in many of the new trains being built as part of the movement to green transportation. And we're also now more and more a player into the field of e-buses and also the truck companies when we are moving, say, into the green transportation time. System drives is one of a leading player in the field of large drives. So here we have also an amazing portfolio of drives that is in all the large plants around the world, but also in the infrastructure place. For instance, when the offshore windmills, when you find some of these very large windmills, you will also find an ABB converter from our system drives divisions. And then we have our service team, a dedicated division in motion, who is looking after the install base of more than 50 million motors and drives out in the field. This is a big responsibility to see that we can support it through ourselves, but also with our channel partners, who is our extended out in all the markets. But then also here, to being a new and the leading force when it comes to looking at new business model, how we can grow with motion as a service. So I think that is also a team we have set up that is now dedicated in our service business, also looking at the next step of some of the offering. And last but not least, also our drive products division, headed by Mika, and I know that he can do the introduction much better than me. So I will really hand it over to Mika to give us some examples here. Thanks, Mika.
Thank you, Morten, and good afternoon. In Drive Products presentation, we have 2 parts. First, I will describe our business today and expand on information shared earlier this year. And then I will describe how we see our business in the future and how we plan to deliver on our strategic mandate. I assume all of us are not drives experts. And because of that, I want to start with the video explaining what is an AC drive and what are the benefits for our customers. So let's see the video.
Electric motors play a very important role in our everyday businesses and lives. They move and run basically everything we need for business or pleasure. All these motors run on electricity. In order to do their work of providing torque and speed, they need the corresponding amount of electric energy. All these motors consume electricity to provide the torque or speed needed. If that torque or speed was too high or low, mechanical controls were used to slow down, shift or control output. The result is inefficiency, with a lot of wasted materials and energy. A motor's speed should match exactly what is required by the process. But how do AC drives work? Our drives sit between the electrical supply and the motor. Power from the electrical supply goes into the drive, and the drive then regulates the power that is fed to the motor. This step allows the drive to adjust the frequency and voltage that is supplied to the motor based on your current process demands. This means you run your AC motors at the speed or with the torque according to the demand needed. And this is why you can save large amounts of money using our AC drives. Besides saving you energy, our drives also help you reduce maintenance costs, reduce scrap, and even ambient noise emissions. They are also a great way to help meet your environmental goals. And that's why we developed a wide range of drives that work with your application. No matter how small or large, we understand that when you are making decisions about using drives in your business, everything counts.
As you saw in the video, AC drives help to save lots of energy and reduce CO2 emissions. The installed base of AC drives saved more than 100 terawatt hours of energy in 2019. So we can proudly say that AC drives play an important role in enabling low-carbon society and sustainable future. Then moving to our business today part. Our annual revenues were $1.3 billion in 2019. We are short cycle, large volume product business. We produce about 1.5 million units per year. We employ globally 2,500 drives experts who deliver superior customer experience. Our margin is healthy, and despite of COVID-19 in 2020, our business performance has been highly resilient. Our market size is approximately $10 billion. We are global number one with 14% market share below 200 kilowatt, which is major part of our market. Our key competitors are global automation players like Rockwell, Schneider, Siemens, and Danfoss, but also large local players, especially in Asia. Our strategic mandate is profitable growth. Our business is already stable and profitable, so our focus is to grow the business and continue driving profitability. Dry product business is well diversified across both segments and geographies. It helps us to minimize the volatility, demand volatility. Our traditional markets in process industries remain important, but already today, well above 50% of the business is in light industries and infrastructure, so HVAC and water being the largest segments. Our geographic mix is well balanced. We have strong presence across the globe, and we are leader in many key markets, for example, in China. We sell more than 95% of our revenue externally to third-party customers. 2/3 of our revenue we sell through channel partners. So we have more than 1,500 channel partners in our global partner network, and our channel partner network is a key competitive advantage for us. Our channel partners are to a large extent value-adding partners. They contribute with domain expertise and local knowledge. They are really an extended arm of sales for us. They sell proactively on our behalf. We call them partners because they are our long-term loyal partners. Most of them are exclusive for us. So channel partners provide us with an effective way to achieve local presence and market coverage. We offer a comprehensive product portfolio in low voltage AC drives. Our portfolio consists of different product lines which are tailored to meet the needs of different applications and end markets with the most suitable product. And within the product lines, we have multi-tier product offering with differentiated value propositions and price points. In R&D, we have a global approach. Our products are built on global hardware platforms with differentiated firmware and differentiate firmware for different markets and segments. With this, we can leverage benefits of scale and still meet the requirements of different markets and segments. Large portion of our R&D investment is on hardware platforms and software development. And actually 60% of our R&D people are working in software development, and the value in the products is more and more in the software and firmware. Our global R&D footprint consists of 7 units in different countries. We are close to key markets, and we are able to meet the market requirements in different markets. We can say that we have global scale with local presence. Next, I would like to share a great example of how do we deliver superior customer value through technology leadership and domain expertise. Almasa City Center is a new giant 130,000 square meter mall in Egypt. The size is equivalent of 18 football fields. And as a solution to ensure reliable and efficient air conditioning, there are 200 ABB ACH 580 ultra-low harmonics drives installed at the complex. These drives offer a unique state-of-the-art combination of complete HVAC functionality and effective harmonics mitigation solution. These drives really demonstrate our technology leadership. You can understand or see that these harmonics are like pollution in electric network. And with our technology, we have the most competitive solution to mitigate them. And our competitors can only offer these same features with multiple devices. Benefits: easier and faster integration and commissioning thanks to the HVAC functionalities. Energy savings by controlling fan speeds automatically. 97% less harmonics compared to the conventional models. And our most compact harmonics mitigation solution saves space, so the customer is able to have more rentable space, and the installation and maintenance work is also reduced. These drives have been sold and project implemented by our local ABB authorized channel partner, Quasi Energy Systems and Control Solution. And this demonstrates well also how our channel partners add substantial value with domain expertise and strong local presence. So the second part of the presentation explains how we plan to grow our business and drive profitability. We expect that the AC drives market continues to be an attractive growth market also in the future. Global megatrends increase demand for energy efficiency and automation. Number of electric motors is estimated to double by 2040. And the current penetration rate of drives is less than 20%. So with all this, we expect that AC drives market recovers from this year's contraction and grows at 4% CAGR by 2023. Drive Products aims to grow faster than the market and increase market share below 200 kilowatt from the current 14% to 15% and beyond. Despite of the fact that we are already global number one, there are plenty of granular opportunities, growth opportunities to gain share. And our aim is to improve in those segments where we are not yet the leader. And as you can see on the slide, we are not leader in all segments. And we have chosen our focus growth segments, HVAC, water, food and beverage, and machinery OEMs. These are large segments which are growing faster than the overall market. And for each focus segment, we have a granular growth initiative with investments to dedicated segment-specific offerings and channel and go-to-market development. So all in all, we aim strengthening our leadership position and increase market share. We drive our profitability through two main levers. We build on our number one market position and delivering greater customer value. Our number one market position allows us to realize scale benefits in procurement, operations, and in value chain through our size and global reach. We are able to invest in R&D in absolute dollars more than our competition, which supports our top-line growth and cost optimization. Our number one position, combined with the comprehensive value-based multi-tier offering, allows us to remain the value leader in the market. We will continue to differentiate and create value by driving the market and setting new industry standards. You saw the example about Almasa Mall. On this slide, there are two more examples of value creation. In Germany, in water utility, we have our ACQ 580 water-dedicated ultra-low harmonics drives installed. We have 94% reduction in harmonics, so less disturbances, and the customer is able to save the money by not paying penalties to the electric utility company. Another example is a sawmill in Finland, where we have our regenerative industrial drives installed. These drives feed energy back into the production system and reduce stress on mechanical components. This saves 200 hours per year downtime, and customer has reported that the payback time for this investment is less than 2 years. So technology leadership and domain expertise combined with an excellent customer service is our recipe for delivering greater customer value. We call our digital strategy in Drive Products customer value beyond products. It enables our growth ambition and protects profitability. It has two dimensions: connected products and digital customer experience. For the connected products, our aim is plug-and-play, low-cost connectivity to the Internet of Things to enable new service revenue streams and smart customer support. We are first in the market with the built-in cellular cloud connection in Drive. We have launched this year Drive Connectivity Panel, which brings plug-and-play cellular narrowband IoT connectivity from Drive to ABB Ability Cloud without additional gateways. Secondly, we want to digitalize the customer experience. So we want to digitalize the different touch points when our customers and partners are interacting with us. And as an example on the slide, so that with the help of a unique QR code, customers have an easy access to product-related digital value elements. These cover digital documentation, including smart guides, reports, certificates, data sheets, but also digital support services. So all in all, connected products and digitalized customer interaction creates customer value beyond products, which enables our growth ambition and protects profitability. So, to summarize, motion mission, we keep the world turning while saving energy every day, describes well what we do. In line with ABB purpose, Drive Products division enables low-carbon society and sustainable future. Drive Products is a market-leading ABB division. We are fully empowered and accountable to deliver our performance in line with our strategic mandate of profitable growth. So that ends my part. I hand over back to Morten. Thank you.
Thank you, Mika. It's really a great business in our business area, and that we are very proud of, and that we know that we can do even much more than what we do today. So, where is the ambitions for the future when we're talking about also our profitability? We already announced that we're going to increase the margin corridor from moving up to 15 to 19%. And we also have a commitment today that we are going to, by 2023, also be in the upper end of the margin corridor. And how will we do that? First of all, it goes back to what I said earlier, that we are constantly looking for cost improvements and continuous improvement. That comes from product technology, it come from automation in our plants, and just being more efficient end-to-end in our operations. And we always have a target, and we always been able to do that. It's to deliver more savings than any cost increase, as we also face in the market, or any price pressure. So this is one part of it. But it's also, for us, it's very much about the granular growth and how we can find new opportunities in the market when the world goes electric. So using, as I said, only 1 out of every 5th motor have a drive on it, that needs to change. And that will drive our growth, and it will drive also a more sustainable future. We will also look at how we can also expand a part of the portfolio, and how we do that with acquisitions. And now the divisions are also fully empowered and are expected to come up with the proposals and the plans for how we can make that happen. And we are looking for acquisitions that will be nice, can really drive the growth of our core portfolio that we have in motion. So if we look at the overall picture, what we do, we have a strong and resilient business. It's underlined with the performance of the last years, but also now in the year of 2020 during COVID. And for the future, we will continue there to look at the portfolio, what is the right mix, and also what are the bolt-on acquisitions we can do, as I say, to be able really to step up on the growth part in the new areas of our business area. And then overall, this is an attractive market. The world goes electric, but energy efficiency is a must. So I will end with also how we can make the low-carbon society and the low-carbon future happen. There we, as ABB and ABB Motion, can play a key role in that development. So I join everybody to join in to the energy efficiency movement.
We are at a turning point. We need to cut CO2 emissions. And the most effective way to do this is to use less energy. However, we can't switch off everything. We need to produce food, keep water running, air flowing, trains moving, and ships sailing, while continuously improving the energy efficiency. With ABB Drives and Motors, we can do just that. We can keep the world turning while saving energy every day. This is our mission. With your help, it will become a movement. Through product innovation and sharing knowledge and insights, we can improve performance, safety, and reliability, and help drive the low-carbon future for industries, cities, and infrastructure. Together, we can progress and sustain the future of industry and humanity. We are moving forward, but with your help, we can go much further. Join us and be part of the energy efficiency movement.
Thank you very much, Morten and Mika. And with that, we go into the Q&A session for you guys. And we're starting off with Andre from Credit Suisse. Your line is open, Andre.
Good afternoon. Thanks very much for taking my questions. I wanted to start with maybe a slightly dumb one, but on the drives adoption, I think we talked about this for quite a long time, and it has been low and moving slowly. Why do you think it has been the case? And do you see it changing in terms of that pace of adoption? And my second question is more specific on drives and this harmonics elimination. I think we saw that launched at the SPS at the end of last year. I wanted to ask what kind of ASP premium you're getting on that sort of product versus selling the drive and the harmonics elimination device separately.
All right, I can start, and I will also ask Mika to join in here. First of all, the adoption rate of drives, it is increasing. It was, if you can remember, a few years ago we talked about less than 10%. Today I say 1 out of 5. So it does increase, but we would also like it to increase faster. One of the reasons is also the cost of energy. So when energy prices goes up and more that the focus around sustainability increases, that plays again in the favor. So I do believe that with the trend what we see now will continue to accelerate with the number of drives. When it comes to the pricing, I don't think I think I will leave that to Mika. But I just have one great example. When I also been in the shopping mall in Cairo, it was referred to, and I think the example there was what they could save in the switchgear room was a whole room where they could open a Starbucks instead. And the revenue generated in the Starbucks shops more than cover for any price difference. That's the real value of having a very compact small drive compared to alternative technology. So that would be the value. But maybe Mika, if you want to add some additions.
No, I think generally our pricing is value-based for all our products and offerings. And the same is valid for our ultra-low harmonics drives. So we want to reflect in the pricing the value what it creates to the customer.
Thank you very much. And we have a next question from Gail at Deutsche Bank. Go ahead, Gail.
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon, and thanks very much for taking my questions. I think it is probably fair to say that there is more value add in the drives than in the motors, and that the motor market is more fragmented and more competitive. I mean, there are probably many electric motor manufacturers located in Brazil, India, China in particular, and willing to expand their market penetration around the world. So could you just describe a bit more the pricing environment for motors specifically? And then in relation to that, since you're willing to stick to the motors business, could you perhaps describe a bit more how the drives and motors business benefit from each other?
Thanks, Gail. To start with the motor question, that is, I see that as an important part of our portfolio when we're talking about the complete offering towards many of our customers. So it is price competition and in both in our field of drives and in motors. But there in the motor business, it's of course even more important to look at how we drive cost out of the end-to-end market, but also to find niches of kind of these growth opportunities where you can find better pricing. So it's not so you need to be very cost competitive where you're more into the mid-market, and that is also where the global scale and having the really large global scales in supply chain and in your operations have an impact, as we do have. And then it's about how do you also look into the market where you find growth opportunities where margins and the profit pools are even bigger. I mean, we have to address both those issues, and we are addressing both those issues in our motor business. But when it comes to the drives and motors, maybe Mika, you can give also a bit of insight, the combination.
Yes, and I think it varies quite a lot for large motors and drives and the smaller ones. But especially for large drives and motors, there is a lot of benefit of packaging drives and motors together. That is clear. And just one example is the synchronous reluctance motor, which was Morten's example. Actually, to drive those motors, you always need a drive. So it is always a package.
Very good, thank you. Will Mackie from Kepler Cheuvreux, I think your line should be open now, so please go ahead.
Yes, good afternoon. Thank you. I have two questions in two specific areas. Firstly, could you talk a little about the level of autonomy that each of the divisions have now within your business area with respect to the element of ring fencing around their P&Ls, balance sheets, and levels of capital employed in each of the segments, particularly within the motors businesses that you have now just split out? I'm interested in the IEC versus the NEMA motors, and specifically also with regard to M&A. Can you talk a little bit, given that the corporate ABB has changed the way in which M&A targets will be identified and then executed and then docked within the group? Talk a little bit about, the level of identification you have reached in terms of identifying targets and how prepared you are at the business area level or the divisional level to execute transactions.
Thanks. First of all, the autonomy, thanks for the question, Will. The autonomy of the P&L in the different divisions, it is really set up division by division. They own their own balance sheets, they own their P&L, they own their performance. That means also all the costs, all the people, also their go-to-market strategy, and how they set up their self in the daily life. So that is the and that goes also in the motor business. You asked about the IEC versus NEMA. Both are product business, but they are the NEMA business. Is very much focused on the North American market, and that is why we also kept it as two separate divisions. We also say in ABB that smart leaders collaborate, and that is also an example. There are still things that is being done together, for instance, on the technology side. But then it's about, as I say, with two smart people find out it's better that we do it in one place instead of two. That is really how we also drive this performance. So it's not me instructing the divisions how they should collaborate. I also have that clear expectation to the division leaders that they find out how can they save cost, how can they optimize the resources here, and then so it's more about asking questions, challenging, but they also need to come up with a solution and owning their own P&L as a division. When it comes to identification of targets, every division has now a dedicated, as part of the new divisional structure, they also have dedicated business development managers and team and members who are now looking at this actively from their perspective. So it's not the business area giving out targets to when it comes to, or potentials out to the divisions. It's really the divisions looking at the areas. What we as a business area help is more on framework, on the way to do it, together also with our corporate M&A team when we later on come to the execution. That is really important that we work together under a common framework. But when it comes to the identification and there is very much now down to the business areas looking into the different areas of geographic expansions, about the new areas, new product offering that we could do, adjacencies to what we do today, or just other bolt-on acquisitions that would also increase or speed up the growth rate of that division.
Thank you. And time flies when you're having fun. So Martin Wilkie from Citi will open up your line if you make it a fairly short question. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll make it short. In terms of the end markets, you highlighted buildings as being in line with GDP, and I know HVAC is a big market for you there. We are hearing a lot about internal air quality, obviously buildings-related stimulus, particularly in Europe, that could obviously drive renovation in buildings. I mean, just to get some sort of sense as to why you think that market couldn't grow faster than how you outline on slide 6. Thank you.
You want to take that, Mika?
We believe that the building markets and the penetration of drives in these applications continue to grow. So that is.
And the question was more if we believe it could grow even faster. That was
And there is, I think, also the stimulus packages by different governments probably will be targeting these energy efficiencies and so on. So it could even further boost it, but it is to be seen.
Yeah, and the market and what we show you here in the deck today is based on the again, most of available industrial standards and market service, public market service that we use. So we'll see. We believe, as you say, the need for fresh air, clean air in buildings, it's increasing. So we also believe it could be more, but this is the official statistics and data that we have been showing today.
Thank you very much, Morten and Mika. Very good, we appreciate that. And with that, we end this Q&A session.